like, I think it was on this date. And okay, so for us, because of finances and because we didn't know about private government, I was like, wow, let's go with the government because that's what we can afford for now. We wouldn't want to go with, actually, to be honest, I never thought about private. For me, it was a waste of money. Like, it was like, it's for the rich people. It is for the rich people that have got the funds and the resources to do that, to go the private way. That was my mentality. Me, I'm not that kind of a person that is fancy. I'm not the kind of a woman that is poshy. I'm not the kind of a woman that wants fancy things. I'm that woman that is normal. As long as I've got normal things, I'm okay. I don't want, like, I want the, like, if you ask me cars, I don't know the cars except the cars that I drive. That's all. If you ask me what car is in fashion or what clothes are in fashion, I'm not that kind of a woman. As long as I've got clothes to wear that are neat, that are clean, that are not torn, I'm happy. So for me, private hospital wasn't even in my mind. So to me, it was government hospital. And my doctor gave me a letter which I was supposed to take to the government hospital, and he told me I need to wake up early because it gets full and it's overcrowded, since I was not on medical aid and I was going to go the government route. Wow, thank God. So I woke up early, and not only myself, and he said you need to go with your husband. We woke up early morning. Early morning, I remember it was a very Monday because we both had to excuse ourselves for that first antenatal visit. Woke up early in the morning. We go to the hospital. It was already full. I think we were number 70 something. Trust me, it wasn't even opened yet. I'm telling you, we left home around 5 a.m. and we were there around past 6, and our number was like 75, some number 75 plus, maybe 80. That's how full it was. And it was dark. It's women and their husbands, women sisters, women friends, but mainly some with their husbands. Some, you just see someone in queue, but you don't know who he is or who she is with. Okay, then you have to wait in the cold outside because it's opened. Remember, government, they open on certain times. So you have to wait in the queue no matter what time. And someone asked them, what time did you, me as a talkative person, I had to ask, what time did you arrive? Like, I was here at 5:30, but the queues were already like long. Like, oh wow. So what time should you be here, like, to be like first in line? Because personally for me, I'm a punctual person. I always want to be early and on time. I was like, some are here around 4:30. I'm like, 4:30 a.m. Are you kidding me? Like, yes. And I'm like, wow, wow. That's the reality. Like, yes. Like, okay. So what time do you think you're gonna be saved? It's like, it depends with the team on shift. If they're fast, they save us fast. If they're slow, they take their time. So it depends. I don't know. But so I was like, what's the process? I was like, I hope you brought all your documents. Is it your first time? I was like, yeah, it's my first time. You brought this, you brought this, you brought your proof of address, you brought your documents, your ID, and your proof of address. And yeah, they also ask some employment documentation. I was like, yeah, we've got that. We just carried all that for myself and for the father. And then we had to wait, guys, from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's 2 hours outside, standing, no place to sit. And remember, we woke up early. So for us to leave around 5, that means we woke up around 4:30 so that we bath, we prepare, and me and my throwing up, and uh, then we're using public transport, going to the public transport and getting the taxi and moving up and down to get to the hospital we're going, because it was a big hospital near us. 8 o'clock arrived, the doors are opened, and people go in according to the queue. Some, if you are early, obviously, you find a place to sit. That's the advantage of getting there early. You get a place to sit. For us that were late, like we're around number 80 something, we had to stand. You had to stand until the sisters done with their breakfast and start serving. And it's a long process because it's not just you checking you and then they finish. It's one person dealing with you and that person is done. No, it's a process when it comes to government. One, you first see the sister that checks. Oh yeah, first of all, you go to the reception, they take your details, they give you a card. They take your ID, they take your proof of address, they take your letter from the doctor who referred you to that hospital, and then they ask the husband his employment details and your employment details. And that's the first time your file is opened, which is another process. Once your file is opened, because you had already moved from the queue to go open your file, you still need to go rejoin, luckily if the people are still there. If you're lucky, and communicate with the other ladies in the queue and the people that are in the queue, and communicate with them nicely and very well. Because everyone wants to be saved and everyone wants to go home. And they know it's a long process. So we did. Thank God the lady saved us with all the documentation. We were saved. My file was opened. I was given my file and I was given my card. You hold your file, you get your card. And by that time, we were on the next stage of sitting. So it was our opportunity to sit down. And it was such a relief because we were standing for almost like 2.5 hours standing in the queue. And to be honest, we did not have any breakfast because I wasn't eating. Mr. also decided not to have anything, and it was so early in the morning. And you know how it is. Few people like to enjoy having breakfast early in the morning. So we started moving from the chair. Next one moves, next one move, next one move, next one move, until it was around 9 a.m. Then it was my first opportunity to be taken for the first procedure, which was to check my weight. So you went on the scale. The sister specifically does that. She does the weighing. She weighed me. She writes my weight in the book, in my folder. She gives me my folder back. Then I have to go start another queue for the next procedure. The next procedure for first time is to, no, not for first time, for everyone when you go to the government hospital or private, is to pee. No, yeah, is to pee. It's either to pee or to do blood pressure. After checking your weight, you have to do pee, and you pee in a container. They give you a clean container and a tissue, and then you must go pee. You take your pee, you take it to the sister with your folder. She checks what needs to be checked as the professionals, and then they write the notes in the book and also confirm that you're really pregnant. And then you go to the next. It said that they do the blood pressure. So for me, they did the pee first, then the blood pressure. They did my blood pressure. My blood pressure was okay. My pee was okay. So on your urine, they check if you've got any things that suggest like STI, sexually transmitted diseases, very important for pregnant women. They check that, and then they also confirm your pregnant status if you're really pregnant. But mainly when you're going for the second, third, fourth, fifth time, they are checking your urine for infections. Normally, pregnant women, they do, what do they call it? Uh, Besides the sexually transmitted diseases, they also have, what do you call it? It's called yeast infections and some stuff. I don't know, they've got their codings and stuff, but they check a lot of stuff in your urine, and then they write the notes in the book, and then you go back in the queue again. Your blood pressure is taken, go back in the queue again. And the queue is moving. I'm telling you, those people are very busy. They save up to 300 or more. I don't know. This is just my estimate. I'm talking about my experience and the big government hospital I was going to in South Africa. They were quite a lot. And those sisters were working so hard and fast as they can to push the queue. And from there, you stand in the queue. You don't know which way you're going. It was my first time. So you just follow the queue. The sister tell you, now you can sit here. And then we sit. We continue moving in the queue, 10 p.m., 11:30. Around 11:30, that's when we're taken to the next room where you see the doctor. The doctor checks you and then talks to you, asks you some questions, what is writing in the book. The questions they ask you is, excuse me, they ask you, have you ever been pregnant? Have you ever had a miscarriage? Is it your first child? And do you have any what do you call it? Any like genetic diseases in the family, like sugar diabetes, hypertension, and some, those genetic diseases in the family. And then you have to answer. And then from the father side also you answer. And then for us, because they didn't have, it was our first time, they had to send us for HIV test. Oh, and then the doctor checked us first. He checked the baby, he touched your stomach, feels the baby, don't know what he does, put you on the machine, checks whatever they do with the baby, and then he writes in the notes in the file. And then because it was our first time, we had to go for HIV test for both the father and the mother. That's what they do. It's a procedure. If your partner is not there, they would encourage you to bring him so that his HIV status also can be known and written in the book, in the file of the mother. And then doctor said thank you, and he writes your next appointment date. So the doctor is the one that gives you the next appointment date. And we were referred to the HIV side. We went to the HIV side. They did. You also wait in the queue for your turn, and that side was a bit like emotional from me, because I saw some people coming out of the rooms like crying, being taken for counseling and crying. And so when you're in a queue and you see some people coming out of a room like that, you know, you went for your HIV test and you see some people crying and they're pregnant and they're being taken by the nurses for counseling purposes, and couples, some shout at each other, like really insulting at each other. And so it's that side for me, for my first time as a woman that was having a baby for the first time, wasn't a good experience, because I wasn't prepared emotionally for that. To see people fighting in front of other people as couples, and like already like the public can just see who is wrong, who is fault. And it's because it was both sides. Sometimes it's the woman, sometimes it's the men, and it's like they just found out. But normally the nurses, they take them and put them aside and for counseling purposes and all that and all that and all that, and they do their things. And then it came for our time. We went inside, we did our blood test, and yeah, and then you wait for a few minutes. Then they tell you it's a quick procedure, and then they tell you, are you ready to see your status? But before they take your blood test, they do a small counseling for you, talk to you. This is not the end of the life. Whether you're HIV negative or whether HIV positive, life goes on. We've got a treatment that we can make to prevent the baby from being infected whilst in the stomach. And you guys, you must start using protected sex until you give birth, not only until you give birth, for the rest of your lives. And to tell you the reasons. So it's like a real nice talk for you as a couple. If you had never done it before you get married, then you have the experience once you are pregnant, and it will be your first time also to get your HIV status, because it's a must have. So get prepared to get tested. You will be get tested for your HIV status. For us, it was good. We thank God. We're happy, and the good was happy, and the father was happy. Sorry for referring good. The father was happy. I was happy. We were clean. We walked out because we were done for the day. We go to the reception. You drop your file, and then you take your card. You now wait for your next appointment. That was my experience at the government. And the appointments start moving. It's monthly appointments, monthly appointments, monthly appointments, monthly appointments, monthly appointments, up to your due date. And then your appointments, you don't get as much frequent scans. I think after 3 months or for your fourth month, that's when you do your first scan. You're only allowed to do 2 scans. And then you do your first scan. And thank God, my ex was very supportive during that period. We're doing it together, we're going together, and we did the first scan. It was so good. The lady was so nice for us. You also do the same procedure, and then but instead of going to the doctor on that day, you go to the scan, and then you bring your file back. So it's like, but now with experience, knowing we need to be there early, we had to wake up every time we go. When it's that appointment date, we'd wake up very early, like 3 a.m., so that we make sure by 4:30 or 5:30 we are there, so that we can be saved early and go home early. So we did that for our whole duration of our first pregnancy. It was not easy, especially the waking up part, waking up early in the morning and standing in the cold, whether it's raining or what. You still have to stand outside because there is no facility for you to sit. The hospital is open 24/7, but they can't open for you to get inside until it's their time to start working. So, and sometimes the nurses were so nice, they would even start working before the time of like before 8 a.m. They'll start serving 6:30. They'll start serving some days, depending with the sisters on shift. But yeah, it depends. That's the government way. And then you do 2 scans, And it depends also with your personality, how nice you are to the person that is taking your scan. I heard nowadays they are no longer allowed to disclose the status, the the sex of the child to the parents, because in Africa, as you know, some men don't like baby girls, and the woman could be having baby girls, and without understanding the biology behind that, they blame it. The blame is put on the women. But for us, when we heard that, well, I was happy because I really wanted a girl, because I thought having a girl for the first time, it would be much easier for me. So the lady was so nice to me, because as you can see, I'm very nice and I'm always talking. How are you? How is your day? Thank you for looking at us today. Thank you for checking at me. Tell me what you want me to do. No, you're so friendly, and you're talking to my man. Oh, she's so friendly. It's like, yeah, she's always like that. That's her personality. I get on the bed. She tells me what to do. And then she starts talking to me. This is your baby. This is your baby's heart. Look at your face. Look at. So she was so nice to us. It looked like really a private experience compared to other people that told me about their scans experience at the government hospital. So for me, I also feel like my advice to the ladies and to the fathers is your attitude when you go to any facility, whether it's a home affairs, whether it's a hospital, your attitude is important. It's good to share a smile. It's good to talk nicely to the people that are helping you. It's good to greet them. Greeting is a sign of respect. So, good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. How are you today? I'm fine, thank you. How are you? It's just good. Oh, I'm good. It's very cold today. How are you feeling? Oh, I'm quite good. And then if she's not in the mood to talk to you, or if she's that kind of person that likes to talk nicely, she can see you're also trying to be friendly, and she'll also, he or she will be nice to you. So it's very important when you go to facilities to be nice, whether it's private, whether you're paying millions. It's good to be nice to the other people that are serving you. It's always good. Okay. So I had a good experience with the lady that was doing it. Was the lady first time that they did my scan, and she showed me a lot that I didn't know about my baby. And my baby first time, he was already scratching her ear. And I was like, oh, she can scratch her ear. And well, we bonded so much with our baby on our first scan, because we could see her legs, we could see her sex, we could see everything, his stomach, her organs, and the doctor was telling us this the I don't know what's the title, the person that does the scans, and she was telling us, and she was very nice to me, because I was also nice to her. Guys, I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. God. Okay, guys, maybe I need to skip a lot and also skip. And then second scan was also good. They're just checking how the baby's developing, because at government hospital you're only allowed to have two scans and more if you've got complications. So we had our second scan, and it was very successful. Baby was growing very well, and every time we went to discuss with the doctors, they were very nice. So I would like to say shout out to the team that works at government hospital. All you need to do is to wake up early and be there on time and be nice to everyone around you. You create friends. Some of them you will be with them during your labor. Some of them you will meet them at scales. Some of them you continuously meet them, because normally you get the same appointment dates. So you become like a family. So it was very nice. My yes, my antenatal experience before baby came was very nice. So guys, because I'm running out, oh yeah, okay, my life. Okay, sorry, I still have got time. I was just worried because I saw the live time. It's already 41 minutes, but my time here is saying half 22 minutes to 9. So I still have got 22 minutes. Okay, so that was my experience at the government hospital before baby came. And when it was time for the baby, because I had requested, I'll be honest on this, I had requested for social induction. Social induction is when a mother or a parent request the baby to come early. I had requested that because I had university exams. I didn't want to miss my exams. So I requested my baby to come like 2 weeks or 1 week early for that. They told me the advantages, they told me the disadvantages that came with that. And I was ready and I was adamant on that. I really didn't want to miss my exams, my university exams. I really wanted to sit down for my university exams. But you know what? God already had his own plans. So my term arrived, and because as the pregnancies get bigger, and new experiences and everything. I started having labor pains in a lecture, like what do you call it? In a tutorial, extra tutorial class. That's when I started having my cramps. And my friend, my beautiful friend, God bless you, bless Moch in Garande, was very supportive, and they drove me in the morning also to the university for the lectures. And I started having cramps in my text lecture. Oh my God. And the lecturer was like, is she okay? Don't you think she needs to go to the hospital? But I was so stubborn, like, leave me alone, I'm okay, I'm quite good. I know when I'm in pain, I need to go. But everyone could see I was really, really in pain, but I was just stubborn. You know, a pregnant woman can be very, very stubborn, especially when it comes to telling her how she's feeling. It's one of those things. It's hormones, guys. Hormones, hormones, hormones. But anyway, my time came. I was due. I was left with 1 day for my induction. So I was just left. It was on a Saturday, the day that I started having pains, and I was supposed to have induction on a Monday. So I started having pains 2 days early before my due date for my induction. And I was prepared for natural birth. In our African culture, you know what it means. We can discuss that another day, but I was prepared to have natural birth. I was so excited about having natural birth. I really, really, really wanted to have natural birth. But again, God had his own plans. Well, the time came, and then because of the cramps and the pain, I got home. My friend dropped me home. They wanted to take me to the hospital, but I was very stubborn with the pregnancy and all that and the hormones, and I just didn't want, until the pain was so much that I couldn't bear it. And then I called my standby, because then we didn't have a car, and my ex-husband was at work. So I called. We had a standby transport for me. My brother, may God bless you, that was on standby to take me to the hospital anytime that I needed, whether hubby is there or not. He was on standby for me. So sorry guys, I'm just adjusting my light. Okay. So we so I called him, and then he said, really? I said, yes. Then he came quickly. Within a second, he was there. He helped me put the bags in the car. He drove me to the hospital. We got there. Obvious, I was rude. I do apologize to the security that was on duty because of the pains that I was having. I just didn't have any patience for anyone. We entered. So when you're pregnant, they don't waste time checking on you or whatever. You go straight to the labor ward. They take me to the labor ward, and immediately they attended to me. They check me. They say, you are 2 centimeters. You are having contractions, but you are 2 centimeters, and you are due for injections, and your baby is still far from coming, but you are having serious contractions, and we understand the pain that you are in, but you need to wait and lie on the bed whilst we monitor the pains, whilst we monitor the contractions, whilst we monitor the baby. So my brother had to leave me, and he had to go, and then he knew where I was and everything, and he came from work straight to visit me. And when you're in labor ward, your husband is allowed to visit you anytime. So he came visit me, but I was in pains and all that. But funny thing, I wasn't having like my contractions. They were coming and going. They were so far much apart. And doctor came, and doctor says, you know what, because she's scheduled for Monday for her induction, I suggest we keep her, even though normally we could have sent her home because she's 2 centimeters apart. But because she's due for her induction on Monday, I want to monitor her. So doctor admitted me. So I was moved. No, no, no. He said, no, no, no. Since the contractions are moving, when doctor came, I was on 4 centimeters. Since the contractions are moving, maybe this baby wants to come early on its own before the induction date. So they said, let's keep her in the labor ward. So I said to Abby, you know what, go. Really, I didn't want to see him. With the pains that I was having, I didn't want to see him. I wanted him out of my sight. He really wanted to be with me and all that, but I did not want to be with him. I did not want to see anyone. That's the mood that I was in. And to the fathers, we do apologize. Times like that happens where we don't want to see your face. And for me, the pains that I was having, I did not want to see him. He wanted to comfort me, to rub me and all that. I just didn't want to see him. And also the way they check you, like the centimeters, was so uncomfortable. And with him being present was even making the pains, I thought he made it feel like worse. So I didn't want him. He like felt like heartbroken, like he really wanted to be with me. He really wanted to see the baby coming and all, but I didn't want him. So I asked him to leave, and he left, and I was left with the nursing staff and everyone. And labor ward is drama, guys. Government hospital labor ward is drama. Okay, when I say drama, is drama. I think I owe this lady her time because of my explanations, and because I want you to understand how it is. So I think I'm running out of time, but I might not be able to get into the private hospital today, which means I'm forced to do it tomorrow, depending on how my day is and how strong and willing I am. But let me finish. I'll see where my time is, because 9 p.m. I have to rest and prepare my bedtime and prepare my work for tomorrow. So guys, labor ward, government labor ward is full of drama. If you know drama, I'm talking of real drama, not a drama as in drama queens. These are real reality drama. It's labor ward is reality drama. God, God, I was so scared to death with what I saw. So whilst they were busy with me, they check your centimeters, they see how many centimeters, which centimeters is like is the dilation, or the dilation that is happening to you, which tells the midwife or the nurses how far you are with your pregnancy and what's happening to you. So they put you aside on the next bed, because emergency, like government hospital, it's busy, guys. There is no time or a room for you, specifically for you. It's like the room you are in is everyone, is the room that everyone that is pregnant arrives, that is due arrives. Some come with ambulance, some come on their own, some come with their husbands, some come with their mothers, some come pulling. Guys, labor ward. Labor ward is a story for another day. But trust me, if you are not strong as a man, don't go to the labor ward. Ask your mother-in-law, ask your sisters-in-law, ask your wife's best friend to go. But if you are a strong man, you can go with your wife to labor ward. But trust me, my experience at the government hospital labor ward was something else. I was so scared to death. I was so scared. Some come screaming. You just hear screams from the elevator, because it's on another floor at the hospital that I was in. You start hearing them screaming. Some are bleeding, some are the baby, some are holding the baby in the head. And I'm peeping through, because I'm lying on the bed in the real labor ward where everyone arrives in. That's where I was in. So I could see everything. Some, the ambulance people already have got the baby, they just want to cut it. Some deliver in the elevator, some deliver at the entrance of the labor ward. The sister has to run and leave you run. It's like government hospital labor ward or maternity ward is the busiest place I'd ever seen. Casualty department is busy. But guys, that year or maybe that time when I had my first child, October 2012, God, I'm telling you, that was, I arrived there around 6 p.m. By 10 p.m. I had seen like more than roughly 30 ladies. Some, in my case, whereby they are in pain, but their centimeters are, they are not ready to give birth. But the majority of them that were coming is just like she arrives screaming, swearing, screaming, swearing, baby out, screaming, swearing, baby out. Some they scream for an hour, baby, you hear, nye, 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 baby's out. And then, so when your baby is about to come, they move you to another room where it's just you and your husband or you and your mother. In South Africa, they insist you have someone close to you. It's either your husband, your partner, your boyfriend, your sister, or some, but definitely they want someone to be with you when you are giving birth. But if you don't have, it's okay. But normally they insist, and they tell us whilst you are going for the scales that you must bring someone on the day you are in labor. So everyone has got someone to hold, someone to inspire you, someone to encourage you. So it's like screaming, someone are swearing, some are praying to God, some are making vows to God never to repeat, some are confessing their sins. That's the drama at labor ward. It's everything. Confessions, prayers, swearing, insults, vulgar, different languages, all languages of everyone that lives in South Africa. Congolese, South African, Xhosa, isiNdebele, isiZulu, English, Afrikaans, any language you can imagine that is in South Africa. You hear it. Somalian language, any language, guys, you hear it. Whether it's in prayers, whether it's in swearing, whether it's in fighting, whether it's in biting. Some bite, some are violent, some are cheeky, some are mad, some strip their clothes naked. I'm telling you, pregnancy make you labor ward, makes you do things that are crazy. thank God to the doctor that came on shift for the evening shift, and he said, you know what, these ladies, this one and this one, and I don't remember that lady's name, but we became friends from that day because we both had the same situation. We were scheduled for induction. I'm not so sure her reason for induction was, but we were both scheduled for induction and for the same date, but we started having cramps same time, and both of us were taken, and doctor admitted us into prenatal, yeah, the maternity department, which is far different from the labor ward. Thank God. At least there it was peaceful. We were quiet, and doctor said we should start our induction. So we started getting our induction medication that Saturday night, that Saturday evening. And when you go to hospital labor ward, guys, all I can tell you is I had my beautiful, very beautiful ring. Very beautiful ring. Beautiful ring. The value doesn't matter anymore. All that I remember, one nurse told me, because I was in pain, one nurse told me that your ring is beautiful. That was the last time I saw that ring. I thought about that ring 5 days later after giving birth. That's when I thought about that ring. Up to today, that ring just disappeared. I never saw it again. And thank God, ended up we stayed Saturday, Sunday, and they were making us do exercises and inducting us and in pain. And Monday morning, my shupa bested, and my ex-husband was there, and yeah, so it was like yeah, that's where the bed part for me, my bed experience started, because ever since I was admitted, no scan was done, nothing was done for me. I was just getting attention and medical medication. So for me, I feel maybe my bed experience came when my scan wasn't taken when I was admitted, because they didn't know when they started inducting me the position of my baby. Was my baby on right position, or what was happening? So up to now, we really don't know, and nobody knows, because it's government hospital, what really happened. Did the baby moved or changed whilst I was in labor, or what? We don't know. But the shupa was bested. The sister put the hands inside. I don't know what that procedure is called, and twisted, and boom, the shupa bested. It was a very painful experience. But my mother had told me, you do not cry, you do not perform, you do not do drama at the labor ward. All you do is pray and hold something so hard, like your bed. Just hold your bed. Whenever you feel pains, keep quiet, bite your mind, close your mouth, and hold the bars. That's all I could do the whole day until this doctor came, and may God bless that doctor. That doctor came and said, my sister, I see you have been in pain for so long. What's happening? Have a scan been taken for you? I said no. And the ex-hubby also tried to explain to him that what was happening. She has been here, but we don't know what's happening. And you look at what's happening. Tell us what's happening. Like, was the scan ever done? I said no. Like, let me check how your baby's doing. Since the shupa bested in the morning and you are having bad contractions, but baby's not coming, what is wrong? So when the doctor checked me, that's when he says, oh, your baby is breech. Look, your baby is breech. And he was so mad because the baby was in breech. And the doctor he just got mad, and he started like screaming at everyone. You never check this woman. The baby is in breech position. The super breasted in the morning. You're putting high risk at the mother, high risk at the child. And now this is now another emergency, and we already have got lots of emergencies for tonight. What do you expect us to do? And he started making my husband fill some forms and explaining to me what's happening to me. Immediately the process just became quicker. They put a catheter, instead a catheter to me, but because of the pain that I was in unbearable labor pain, unbearable, unimaginable pain for the whole day. My husband was the only person that was checking on me. The nurses were just checking how many centimeters. Doctors would come and just put how many centimeters, but nobody could check what was happening to the baby. Was the baby on the right position? Why wasn't the baby pushing? Why did the contraction stop? Nobody checked the whole day. We were asking, sister, what's wrong with me? What's happening to me? I'm in pain. The super breasted in the morning, and my husband was so worried because he was a scientist. He was worried, like, what's really happening to the baby? Now the water is not there. So how is the baby surviving? Amniotic fluid is out. How is the baby surviving? But unfortunately, in government hospital, you have to be polite and stick in your lane, because if you are not a qualified doctor or a qualified nurse, and you can't help yourself, you shut up. That's the procedure. So that doctor, when he came, he said that was night shift doctor. I had doctors during the day. Some professors came with the students, some doctors came with the students, and all the students will be doing experiments, like really putting their fingers in you, checking the centimeters, going to the next one, checking the centimeters. And that was so painful considering the labor pain that I was in. I was in bed labor pains. But you can't complain. You can't say no. I'm telling you, 5 people will put their hands in between your legs to check student doctors. They'll be experimenting. They'll be polite. Excuse me, ma'am, can I check your centimeters? What can I say? I'm in labor. I'm in pain. Do whatever you need to do and go. That's the attitude that time. Do whatever you need to do and go. Another one come, they do. So a doctor can move around 7 student doctors. And if all of them wants to check you, they'll check you, or they go check the next one. But that's how it was the whole day. People putting fingers inside of you, checking centimeters. That was horrible. In front of your husband. That was horrible and painful. But that's government experience. Because the students also, I understand, the students also need exposure. They also need to learn. And there is no way that they can learn except through human. So they had to learn to ask for them to be the better doctors. So I can't blame anyone. But for my situation, that doctor that came at night made everything. Within 10 minutes, catheter was put, I was set up, ready for theater, documents signed. It happened so quickly, so fast, and we were due for, I was ready for C-section. And everyone that was planned for the C-section was put on hold. Mine had to go through, but it was an emergency because for safety of my baby and my safety, because I was in labor for too long and my baby was breached and the water was out. The super had bursted early in the morning and I spent the whole day in labor with nothing happening. So that's how I had my first C-section, unplanned C-section, because my baby breached. When the baby breached, I don't know. Maybe the baby breached before, when I started having the pains, maybe the baby was moving. I don't know because nobody found out. But that's how I ended up having an emergency C-section. And that's how I had a bad experience. So I'm left now running a little bit with time, but I have to move quickly. So the C-section was quite easy. The moment they give you the injection at the back, in South Africa, they don't make you sleep. They make you like half body numb, and I don't know, the other body will be alive and moving and talking, and you can hear everything. But they put a curtain to block you so that you don't see when they are cutting you, but you can feel their hands moving. That C-section, when you're awake, you can feel their hands moving, you can hear them talking because your upper body is wide awake, just that your bottom part from your stomach to the legs, it's numb. You feel nothing, you don't feel anything. That C-section, the other, I don't know the terminology of that type of C-section, but that's the one that I got. I was wide awake and it was so quick. 30 minutes my baby was out, baby was bathed clean, baby was crying, yeah, 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 yeah. It's a baby girl. Wow, I was so happy, I was so happy. But I was so happy and a bit drunk and dizzy, and I don't know what this thing that happens soon after giving birth. You feel sleepy, you feel drowsy, you feel tired with a baby. But because I was also numb with the injection. That's all I remember. But yeah, 3/4 of the time, the father was doing the kangarooing of the baby. He was holding the baby, and already he was telling me the baby is looking for milk because he was already sucking on his chest, like looking for milk. And then the baby, because I couldn't feel anything, like I was telling him, I can't feel anything. From the bottom wise, I can't feel anything. So he had to slide the baby in and help the baby to breastfeed from me. It was both our first time. There was no one showing us how to breastfeed or to do what. Nothing, guys. Nothing. They are so busy. Soon after move, they have to clean so that another one need to go to do C-section. It's so busy. The nurses are so busy. The doctors are so busy. That's government hospital. They do not have time to give you the attention and care that you need. You can't get it. They would love to do it, but other people's lives are at stake. So you need to understand, when you choose the government route, when you choose the public route, it is like that. It's long queues. There is no 100% attention for you and care for you because it's quite busy. Everything is emergency, especially for C-sections, because there are people that are scheduled to be operated that day, but their operations keep postponed because of emergency operations like mine that happened, and it has to be done there because I could die or the baby could die, and everything changes everything. So because of these emergency operations that keep coming in the theater, emergency operations, those guys are busy. They are working non-stop all night long. And remember, it's not only them. The normal delivery section, they are delivering babies every minute. A baby is coming into the world, not only one, two, three sometimes. So the staff, I'm telling you, what I saw in government hospital is they love their work, but they are ever busy. They are so busy and understaffed. They are understaffed. And because also of their policies and trying to protect and guard the safety of the children, they limited the visitation times. Like for me, I was operated around between 6, 7 and 8 p.m. The visiting time was over. So my ex-hubby only had to take me to the lab, to the room that I was scheduled to be in, and leave me there. And the nurses that side were also busy. They are busy receiving, they're busy moving others to another department because new emergency people that are not planned are coming. So it's like there is no, they try to plan things, but because of emergency birth, emergency coming, emergency transferals from other hospitals to that hospitals, there is no order. There is no way they can put order. And there's no way they can calculate the number of beds needed for mothers that just gave birth. So because of that, I'm telling you, you are in bed, in this bed now. Within 10 minutes, you're going to be moved again to another room. And maybe you sleep 5 hours in that room, you need to be moved again to another room. So this is government hospital. They continuously moved you from one room to another room until they started moving us the next day from one floor to another floor. The hospital was full with mothers with new babies, especially C-sections mothers. If you give birth naturally, they try by all means to make you go back home so that there is space for mothers with C-section mothers who needs to be taken care of until 4 or 5 days. Government hospital normally keep you for 5 days in hospital because you need to be getting injections. They give you injections so that you don't get infections, your wound monitoring and all that and all that. So they keep moving you. If your baby is day older, they move you to another. Oh, the day old mother, it's time to move again. You are moved to another room. No, we need to use the room. The new babies are coming. You are moved to another room. To the extent that after 3 days, the hospital that I gave birth, that I was scheduled to give birth, was so full. They started to look around for other hospitals around to accommodate us. I don't know what happened with that year or with that month, or that's how it is, but it was so full that me and all the ladies I gave birth with, we ended up being transferred to another big hospital far away from where we were with our newborn babies and the C-section in an ambulance. And it was so painful. And because of the visiting hours and the C-section on itself, it was so tough. The nurses are forever busy. They are forever busy. There is no one to give you attention and care there. You can say, please come help me, give me my baby. Because after C-section, you can't move because the stomach, when the pain medication is gone, the pain immediately comes. It's like you can't move, your whole stomach is sore. You need help to get a baby. But there's no one who can help you to do that. It was so tough, guys. It was very tough. So I'll conclude because I'm behind time with, I'm going to talk about private hospital tomorrow. I pray I've got the time to do the video again, discussing the same topic so that I can help this lady. But today I'll end on my moving to another hospital, because the government hospital that I was in is the biggest hospital where I stay, but was full to capacity. Full to capacity. They had created wards and wards and wards, guys, but it was still full. So it was so difficult. It was so difficult. Excuse me, I've exceeded my time, so I just need to check on my time. Okay. So guys, I'll end up here today, and I'll do another video. I have to do it to answer this lady, to fulfill my obligation of comparing the government and private. But to be short and brief to you, government hospital, the video was long because of the long experience. Private hospital, I think the video will be short because of the private experience. So my name is Jean Kiditsen Kobole. I would like to say thank you for watching the video. I'd like to say good night to you. Have a great evening, and please take note for tomorrow. Same time between 8 and 9, I will make sure I'll finish. Ma'am, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. I would like to apologize for not being able to finish on time because I had to address the way you asked me to and in detail. And I had to give my experience in detail. So tomorrow, I will continue with my experience and finishing off the government experience, moving to private hospital experience where I had my second baby. Good night to you. Sleep well. God bless you. I love you. Bye. Bye. I say bye. Bye bye.